I'm at my breaking point. Matt Rhule had an opportunity to fire offensive coordinator Marcus Satterfield yesterday, and he didn't do it. So in today's video, I'm going to go over every single thing that Marcus Satterfield is bad at as the OC for the Huskers and why he should no longer be employed by the university. So really quick, this is a heated video like you may expect. Make sure to hit that like button if you're excited. And hey, if you're new to the channel or a returning viewer, make sure to subscribe. I post Nebraska football content every single day through thick or thin. So if you're a diehard Husker fan, make sure to subscribe. You will be thanking yourself that you did. But without further ado, let's get into the video talking about Marcus Satterfield and how he is still employed by Nebraska. I'm dismayed. I really thought the Huskers were going to fire him yesterday. Yes, I've acknowledged in the past that Matt Rhule does not fire coaches, especially mid-season. But with how Marcus Satterfield has performed and how bad he's been, I really thought Matt Rhule had no choice. He proved me wrong. He continues to employ Marcus Satterfield. So in today's video, I'm going to go over every single reason that he should be gone and how he's failed the fans, the team, and a lot of these players. So right off the bat, before I get into my reasons, what's the definition of insanity, guys? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting something to change. Listen, this guy clearly is not the solution. Nebraska has one of the worst offenses in all of college football. We have no confidence in this unit. Let's roll into the reasons why he should be gone. Number one, this is the biggest reason, in my opinion, why I am not a fan of Marcus Satterfield anymore. He is actively ruining our five-star quarterback's development. Dylan Raiola is a shell of himself from where he used to be earlier in the season to where he is now. Listen, if you play right away as a true freshman quarterback or even as a rookie quarterback in the NFL, you need to be surrounded by the right pieces. You need to have a good offensive line. You need to have a good receiver core. But most importantly, you need to have a good offensive coordinator who shapes his offense around your good traits, around your strengths. That's what the best offensive coordinators do. They're very fluid. Okay, depending on who their quarterback is, they're going to completely change up their offense to fit that quarterback and how well they play. Marcus Satterfield did not do that. When Dylan Rhule, a generational prospect, got to Nebraska, Marcus Satterfield changed absolutely nothing about his offense. Instead, he made Dylan Rhule change his game to fit Marcus Satterfield's offense. That's unacceptable. Okay, that's the number one trait of a bad coordinator, is unable to, change your philosophy. And, talking about Dylan Raiola, he was a good quarterback the start of the year. He was great versus UTEP. He was great versus Colorado. And as the year has progressed, he has consistently gotten worse. If you look at his Pro Football Focus grades, every single performance has had a worse grade from the last. He's seeing ghost out there. He is a shell of what he used to be, and that's thanks to Marcus Satterfield. His completion percentage has tanked. He's been bailing away from the pocket a lot earlier than he used to. He has no faith in his receivers. He has no faith in the play call. Marcus Satterfield's plays in general, they take way too long to develop. They don't put Raiola in a chance to succeed. I want to throw a stat out at you. Until the UCLA game, Dylan Raiola did not have a single passing touchdown in the month of October. Again, this guy is just not playing good football. That's thanks to Marcus Satterfield. Again, it's not all Marcus Satterfield's fault. Of course, some of it is Dylan Raiola's fault. But at the end of the day, Dylan Raiola is a 19-year-old true freshman. Marcus Satterfield's not putting him in the best situation to succeed. And the last thing I want to mention about this point, Dylan Raiola is getting hurt every single day, every single game for this offense. Again, he's tweaked his ankle. He's tweaked his shoulder. He tweaked his back versus UCLA. He tweaked his back versus the Bruins. Marcus Satterfield took him out. One play later, Marcus Satterfield put Dylan Raiola back in the game when Raiola couldn't walk. And then he fell to the ground before the snap even went off. That shows you the incompetence in your offensive coordinator, that he doesn't even know his quarterback. Sure, he's trying to put him back out there within the paint. It's unbelievable. He is ruining Dylan Raiola. Number two, the statistics. You just look at the statistics. A lot of people compare us to Iowa. They say, we have as bad of an offense as Iowa. We can't even say that anymore. Iowa's put up 40 points 3 of the last 4 weeks. You look at the stats. We have the 95th best offense in America when it comes to scoring points. In yardage, we are the 92nd best offense in America. And then in the red zone, we have the 5th worst offense in that department. It is a joke. This offense can't score. They can't score inside the 20. They have no rhythm. We've seen a lot of 3-and-outs over the last couple weeks. The stats do not lie. Number three, The play calling has been horrendous. I know that's been most people's focus. Listen, he doesn't stick to the run game when it works. He doesn't stick to the passing game when it works. Again, we've seen too many 3-and-outs, a record number as a Nebraska offensive coordinator. In general, this offense has no identity. We have no identity. Okay, we don't run the football down people's throat. We're not a good running team. We're not a good passing team. What do we do well? Well, the answer to that is absolutely nothing. We don't have an identity. That's thanks to Marcus Satterfield. And because of that, that's the reason why we've been playing really, really bad. But his play calling has been horrific, especially inside the red zone. For that reason, again, he needs to go. Number 4, something that's really frustrated me over the last couple of weeks that's been notable. This team has no tempo. This team has no ability on offense to go quick. They have no ability to have perhaps a 2-minute drill to say if they're going down the field, they're down 7, they can't go down very quickly. They don't know how to go no huddle. It's unfathomable to me. In the UCLA game, we were down 2 touchdowns in that fourth quarter. We burned about 5 minutes of clock that we had absolutely no business burning just because of the fact that Marcus Satterfield has no idea how to run tempo. He's never taught this offense how to run tempo. We're just going so slow on offense. You can't do that in close ball games. You can't do that when you're down 2 touchdowns. So much incompetency. Number 5, no creativity in the play calls. One thing that I hate about Marcus Satterfield's offense is that you rarely see a pre-snap motion. If you watch modern day college football offenses, especially now in the NFL, an offensive coordinator is focused on his motions. You see a lot of running back motions, wide receiver motions, especially you see that in the RPO game. Our RPOs are weak compared to a lot of other schools. Again, he's just really behind. His offensive philosophy is from the mid-2000s. Everybody's a statue before the play. And even when there is creativity, you see those trick plays with Heinrich Hoiberg, we don't even get big chunk plays. We don't even get first downs. We had the big double pass with Hoiberg against UCLA. We got 9 yards on that. We can't even execute trick plays for chunk plays. This guy has no creativity in his play calls, and it shows. Number 6, Marcus Satterfield doesn't know basic stats. Like we saw 2 weeks ago when a beat reporter asked him, how many yards per play are you looking for from this Nebraska offense? He didn't even know what a good yards per play was. He said, 4. 4 would be optimal. 4 would be the worst in college football, and yet he didn't know that. Again, if you look at good offenses, they're very rigid about the statistics that they're expecting. Okay, they're very particular. They want a certain amount of passing yards, a certain amount of running yards. They want a certain red zone percentage, this, that, and the third. Okay, and they use that to gauge how good their offense is. Marcus Satterfield doesn't know the first thing about statistics. And again, that's not me speculating. We saw that firsthand. So that's number 6. Number 7, this might be just a me thing, but I don't believe that Marcus Satterfield is a big leader of men, at least compared to Tony White. Because when I watch Tony White, especially in Chasing 3, when he's talking to the players, he's a leader of men. He is a CEO. He is a militia boss. Okay, he commands respect. And I get that. I like that about Tony White. And I understand when he's going to that press conference, he's putting all the accountability on him. When Marcus Satterfield goes up for a press conference, he's blaming this, that, and the third. He says that he's blaming himself. I don't think he really believes that. When I watch him in Chasing 3, I could not get hyped up listening to Marcus Satterfield. I tried. And there was one time where he was giving a pep talk to this offense. I couldn't get hyped up about it. That's just a me thing, but I just don't think this guy's a leader of men. Last but not least, I want to give a message to the recruits, because I talked to a lot of the recruits and their families, and they actually believe in Marcus Satterfield. A lot of the players' parents do not believe in Marcus Satterfield, but a lot of the recruits' parents do. And a lot of them, when I talk to them, they say it's an execution issue. A lot of these players aren't executing. That's correct, but at the end of the day, push comes to shove. Marcus Satterfield isn't doing his job. Here's what I'm going to tell you. If you're a recruit parent, you got to believe in Matt Rhule. I believe in Matt Rhule. You got to believe in the positional coaches. You got to believe in the players. And you got to believe in Glenn Thomas, who's likely going to be our next offensive coordinator after him. Those guys are doing their job. Marcus Satterfield just isn't. Okay, and that's evident in how poor this offense is performing. If you watch some of these games, you will see that. You need to stay committed to Nebraska because our offense is going to get better. Don't worry about it. You got to trust Matt Rhule and trust his judgment. By the end of the day, Marcus Satterfield's not doing his job. That's just college football nowadays, but I would still stay committed to Nebraska just because, why did you commit? A lot of you guys are not committing just because of Marcus Satterfield. I know that for a fact. You're committing because of Matt Rhule. You're committing because of Deion Raiola. That's not going to change. So if we make this move and get rid of Marcus Satterfield, you should still stay committed because that's not a deal breaker. That shouldn't be a deal breaker for you at least. So, all right, guys, I've just had it with this guy. Again, this is not a hot take. Nothing that I just said should be a hot take. Nobody should be saying, Wilson, what you said is unreasonable. Like, no, it's not. I use stats to back this up. I use, just, plays in the game to back this up. This is the consensus in the fan base nowadays. A lot of the fan base, they think Marcus Satterfield should go. He should go. And I'm just mad that we didn't fire him yesterday. Again, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting something to change. It's not going to change. This offense is not going to get better. If it were up to me, Marcus Satterfield would be gone. Glenn Thomas would be our new offensive coordinator. I'm not going to say he would be perfect, but he gives some spark to this team. He'd give some confidence to an offensive unit that lacks that. And unfortunately, Matt Rhule did not put his big boy pants on, and we're going to continue to roll out Marcus Satterfield, and we might lose 6 straight to miss a bowl game because of it. So, all right, guys, let me know down below your thoughts on this video. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me on some points? Let me know in the comment section. Hey, if you made it this far in the video, shout out to you. Hit that like button and subscribe. And as always, folks, go be great. Go Matt Rhule, and see you in the next one.